Just a few days ago, Faith, one of the strongest and most admired housemates in the Big Brother house, got disqualified after a heated clash with Sultana. I'm very sure all the lovers of BTS are aware of the situation. Remember, in BTS, we find light in every story. So, this session is not to apportion blame, is not to digest or who did what, but we really want to see what are the takeaways for our viewers from this situation. Now, disqualifications are always tough. They shake the house, they divide the fans, they leave us asking what really happened? What can we learn from it? So instead of focusing only on blame or condemnation, let's unpack this moment carefully and see what light we can find within the situation. Now, what happened? The incident started during a group task rehearsal, a skincare challenge. Emotions were already running high, and according to reports, Sultana had accused Faith of being controlling, trying to dominate not just the task, but all through, their stay in the house, even though this particular task, it wasn't his area of expertise. Faith, on the other hand, felt that Sultana was taking too long or she took too long before coming to join the group. So already we can see that emotions or there were already provocations from both parties even before the argument itself ensued. This disagreement grew louder, more heated, and at some point, Faith dragged a bucket containing some materials, right? In the process, Sultana lost her balance, fell, and got injured, hurting her ankle and her hand. That was her claim. Other housemates tried to step in, but then the situation had already gone too far. Big Brother had no choice. The rules are clear. Any form of physical aggression, whether intentional or not, results in immediate disqualification. Faith was asked to leave the house, forfeiting all prizes and ending his journey abruptly, right? Now, what are our initial reflections? At first, it's tempting to view this only from the lens of shock and disappointment. Faith was a fan favorite. Oh, yes, he was. Many believed he had what it took to go all the way, claiming the ground prize. But his disqualification felt like a blow not only to him, but to his supporters. Up till now, at the time of filing this review, comments and diverse comments still flood the internet space. But here on Finding the Light, we go deeper. The question isn't only why did this happen, but also what lessons can we all take away from this? Now, lessons from the disqualification. Purely for the on-watchers, for the fans, for the prospective contestants of this show, because another season will come. Things like this will always play out. Why? Because we always sit back not to look at the lessons that can be learned from a situation, but to apportion blames. Okay, lessons from this disqualification. Lesson number one: boundaries are non-negotiable. No matter how emotional pressured you are, some lines simply cannot be crossed. For the Big Brother house, the line is violence or any action that risks another person's safety. In life, too, we need to know our boundaries, what we must never allow ourselves to do, even when provoked. Okay? Lesson number two: emotions under pressure can be explosive. The house is an intense environment. Cameras everywhere, tags, competition, personal differences, love stocked up and everything. A small spark can quickly become a fire. The same happens in our daily lives. at home, in families, in friendship. When pressure builds, we must learn to pause, take a breather, and de escalate before things go too far. Okay? Now, lesson number 3 is on leadership versus control. Part of the conflict came from accusations of being too controlling. Leadership requires guiding and listening, not forcing. When people feel unheard, resentment sets in, resentment grows. The lesson: influence is strongest when it includes others, not when it dominates them. Include others, do not dominate them. Lesson number 4: consequences apply to everyone. Faith was talented, loved, and popular, yet the rules still apply to him. Popularity can never replace accountability. In our own daily lives, no matter our status, job, or influence, actions have consequences. That's a reality we all need to respect, okay? Lesson number 5: redemption is still possible. Yes. And a big yes, and a yes again. Fade left the game abruptly, but disqualification is not the end of his story. What matters now is how he responds. If he takes responsibility, learns, and grows from this moment. If he has loved ones who can still love him at this moment and at the same time point him to a better direction of growth, okay? He can inspire even more people than if he had simply stayed in the house. Sometimes the fall becomes the foundation for a greater rise. Hear this again. The fall becomes a foundation for a greater light. Okay. So the light in this story is for faith. The light is in the possibility of growth, healing, and showing us all what accountability looks like after a mistake. For Sultana, the light is in resilience, standing her ground, and hopefully finding healing both physically and emotionally. For the housemates, the light is in realizing how fragile peace can be and the importance of stepping in early to calm situations. And then the most important light is for us, the audience, the fans, the supporters, the viewers. The light is in reflection. The light is never in condemnation. The light is never in, judgment. The light is in reflection. If we are honest, we have all had moments where anger nearly pushed us too far. This situation is not a one man situation. This is something that you have to work on. It's an intentional decision for you to say, I will de escalate rather than escalate. This incident is a mirror. How do we manage our conflict? Do we listen when others accuse us of being controlling? Do we know our non negotiable boundaries? Friends of the BTS. Faith's journey in the house may have ended suddenly, but his larger journey continues, and so does ours. In every fall, there is a chance to rise stronger. In every conflict, there is a seed of wisdom. So let's not only condemn, let's learn, let's grow, and let's apply these lessons in our own lives. This is finding light in every story. Okay? Thank you for watching. And remember, the story never ends with the mistake, it continues with what we choose to do after it. Okay? So until I see you again in the next video, keep keeping a tab with us because we only bring you finding light in every story. See you in the next.